Hey y'all, we're behind the scenes with BLAM Magazine. We got Felicia Barfield here doing the food segment for us with Cheesecakes. What you got for us today?
I'm going to be making Fruity Pebbles cheesecake, something that you can make with your kids. You don't need to use the stove. I'm going to make a Rice Krispie base out of Fruity Pebbles, and I'm going to use the microwave to do that.
Awesome.
So you'll combine one 10-ounce bag of marshmallows. I use the mini marshmallows, and then 2 tablespoons of real butter. And then you're gonna microwave that for 2 minutes. You can check it about halfway through. And then when you take it out, you'll be able to add your Fruity Pebbles.
What made you decide to use cereal?
Actually, my husband. So I did the Fruity Pebbles cheesecake one day because I experiment with different recipes. And he said, how cool will it be to do cereal cheesecakes? So this was actually the start of, I guess, a cereal cheesecake line, but I also make Cocoa Pebble cheesecake, I make Apple Jacks cheesecake, and I actually make a Captain Crunchberry cheesecake. So the base of the Captain Crunchberry cheesecake is Captain Crunch, just Captain Crunch, and I still do a Rice Krispie base, but with Captain Crunch. And then I make the cheesecake filling and top it with the crunch berries.
Listen.
Yeah, so if you like cereal, you'll love the cheesecake line, and it will be around for a long time.
Listen now.
So the trick with Rice Krispie base is you want to get your cereal in there right away, and it's gonna stick to your spatula, which is okay. But you want to get it mixed in as quickly as possible. And you clean up your edges kind of as you go. It's okay. My kids would actually lick their fingers if they were here right now.
I was gonna say, you said your baby just likes the bottom, and I said,
yeah, he wants the topping. He doesn't care what it is. He said, can I have the topping?
Like, I can take the bowl and the spoon right now.
Exactly. See, I told you we would find a way to get you a sample. Yes, I'm going to put it in a 9-inch spring form pan, and then spread it around, flatten it out. We're gonna put it in the fridge and let it cool. And there's no pretty way of doing this. It doesn't really matter. Once you get in there, get it flattened out, it's going to taste amazing. And if you're wanting just Rice Krispie treats, I mean, when you make this at home, make an extra batter or bowl of it for your kids, and then just put it in the refrigerator and let it cool, and then you can cut it up once it's cool for your kids. And I use my special little spatula spoon. So once you get it in there, you're just going to kind of press it down around the edge of the pan just to create a crust.
And where did you get that little, what is it, a spatula? There's nothing sticking to it.
I'm a kitchen gadget person, so a lot of times I'll go to those as seen on TV stores or Walmart, and I see something and I just buy it just because I don't know what it is and I want to figure it out. And so I have a nice collection of random kitchen gadgets that my husband wishes I would get rid of. One day when I made this was in one of my drawers. I said, let me try that, because I tried to use a measuring cup and it stuck to the bottom of the measuring cup.
Usually you do with
and
marshmallows.
I think since it's a little bit more firm than a spatula, it just works. I mean, see how it's like perfectly flattening. And in a spring form pan, you can't really tell how even it is, but as long as it seems pretty even, you're fine. Yep. So all done. And then we just set this in the refrigerator to cool while we make our cheesecake.
So how'd you even get Cheesecakes started?
My husband, he purchased a food truck for me. He surprised me. And I thought he was crazy. I was like, what are you doing? I have a career. What are we doing? And he said, you know what? You bake, you love it. Why not? So I decided to give it a try, and I've loved it from day one. I always said that if you do things with love, it'll allow you to enjoy them. But if you start to do something that you love and you start to feel burned out, or you don't like it, or you feel stressed out, then you should stop doing it. So I do this on my terms, and when I get to a point, if I ever get to a point, hopefully not, that I'm not enjoying it, I have a career and I can step back from it. So that's kind of why I'm doing it.
So you love both?
I do.
Ever something you would want to do solely?
No. So I love serving. So I like taking care of people. I like putting a smile on their face. And in my career working in healthcare, it allows me to do that. And this allows me to do that as well in a different way. It's kind of weird because when you work in healthcare, you know, people come in, they're sick, you want to make them feel better. And then I'm selling baked goods. So it's like, okay, moderation, you know, keeps you healthy, but really it's like the opposite end of both worlds. I just want to make people smile, and they do. People love a good dessert, you know, whether it's a mousse, you know, in the spring, or it's a sweet potato pie during Thanksgiving. So I just feel like there's different ways of serving, and my career and this allows me to do both. So
there's one thing I will give you credit for with the sweets. Now, your stuff, I have had some. I got some over the weekend.
I made all my kids.
My husband cheated the kids out of their portion, but it's not crazy sweet. And that was a good thing. A lot of times, like my husband, he doesn't like stuff extremely sweet. He'll only eat like a little bit of it, like, I can't eat no more.
Yeah.
But no, it was like perfect.
Thank you. I think I'm sugar conscious. So, you know, I think when you do things with love and you're conscious of what you're doing, and my husband always says, taste it before you feed it to other people, because if you don't want to eat it over and over again, they won't want to eat it over and over again, right? I think I'm also sugar conscious because my grandfather has diabetes, and very quickly after losing my grandmother, I had to learn how to make sugar-free desserts.
Yes.
So now when I make the desserts that do include real sugar, I'm still kind of sugar conscious because, you know, you go to a family member's house for an event, right? And no one thinks about the people who have diabetes, right. So they just get the desserts that they like, right? Yes. And they want dessert too. So if they don't order sugar-free desserts, then most of the time they will try whatever's there. So if I can make it delicious for the people who love sugar, but not sugar heavy, so that if the person that's diabetic can cheat that day, then they're getting less. It still may not be good for them, but it's still less than, you know, what they would have gotten if I would have dumped all that sugar in the bowl.
That's the truth, because I worked for OSU for 8 years, and we had peak times over the holidays.
Yeah,
diabetics
definitely
coming in.
Yeah,
and
because they want dessert, and no one ever says I'm gonna get banana pudding, and I'm gonna also ask them to make me a sugar-free banana pudding. Now, when we do family events, I make sugar-free, and I make, you know, just a regular banana pudding, just so that my granddad can enjoy the holiday and enjoy the things that he loves at the same time. And then, just for the record, my banana pudding, sugar-free, does not taste sugar-free. It actually tastes like a regular sugar-filled banana pudding. It doesn't.
You don't try that yet?
Nope. It is like real. It is really good. I actually was skeptical because, you know, we like our sugar, and so I tried it, and I was like, oh my gosh, it tastes like the original. Like, you can't even tell that it's sugar-free. So I would challenge a few people who should not have sugar, who enjoy sugar, to order sugar-free banana pudding for me, and they will not be sorry for doing that.
I know I'm off camera, but yeah, that was, like she said, that was like the one thing that I noticed when I took my first bite, which led me, no, you're good, which led me to take
taking bites.
Yeah, that's my husband said, if you don't want to eat it over and over again, the people that you're serving are not going to want to eat it over and over again. And he has given me some tough love. Like, I've made something, I presented it, I'm like, all right, babe, here you go, try it. And he's like, this is terrible. And I'm heart crushed, terrible. I'm like,
but let me, but your husband, he's a producer.
He's studio engineer, drummer, yeah. He does a lot. Yeah, he tells me the truth, but you know what?
The truth.
I don't think that I would be
even
where I am.
When it hurts.
It's all in love.
Even when it hurts.
Yeah. But you know that they love you.
Yeah.
So when they say it doesn't hurt the way it would if I gave it to a customer and they came back and said, this is terrible.
Shout out to Ike.
So yeah, he does. He tells me if it's terrible, he's like, nope, back to the drawing board. And he's gotten used to trying all the different things that I make. So now he's getting good at telling me like what it's missing. And so I'm like, don't try to take my job. Don't try to take my job, but I will add a little bit more salt or, whatever it is. So yeah, he definitely keeps me dessert conscious to make sure that I'm making good things that people enjoy.
Good stuff. So now we're about to do the filling.
Yes, we are going to make the cheesecake, which is very, very simple. A lot of times we see these desserts and they look all complex and everything, and you think, I'm not ever going to try to make that. But the purpose of this recipe is so that you will try it because it doesn't take all day. So I'm going to mix 16 ounces of cream cheese along with 2 cups of heavy cream until it's creamy and looks delicious, and then we'll add additional ingredients. So this is your finished product. If you leave it in there the 3 or 4 hours, it'll firm up really well. If not, it's more of a cheesecake ice cream, which is still yummy. But like I said, you can top it with any icing, so whipped cream, buttercream, whipped icing, and then just pour the cereal on the top.
I'm about to take a bite.
Go on,